Hi, hello everyone. Hi, this is a very, very special episode. We are coming in live from the Big Blue Trunk. I wish I could show you Zara, our mascot slash, how do you call it, goddess? Okay, anyway, so right here with me is Meeda Joseph. She is the studio manager of Big Blue Trunk at Clooney Court. So, all right, take it away.
Hi, good morning. How is everyone out there? I have no idea what we're going to talk about today, but we always find something, you know?
All right. So basically, today is a very, very special day of sorts. I mean, not just for all Buddhists observing Vesak Day, but I realized today is also a super moon. I just read online today. So basically, I think if you live in the east, you will want to look up to the skies because not only is it a super moon, it is also an eclipse. Yeah, so the eclipse should start about God, I should have done my research. But anyway, I will drop all the details for the eclipse as well into our link later. All right. So basically today is Vesak Day, as said. So I mean, Buddhists all over will be celebrating the birth, enlightenment, and of course the parinibbana. That's when Buddha Gautama passes into nibbana or nirvana. Yeah, okay, so a very, very special day. But of course, life goes on, yeah, despite all the celebration and everything. And okay, you see me looking around, I'm not being frantic or anything. It's just that we are in a retail shop. So some customers may come in, and if you're watching this, do come in, join us. Yeah. All right, so what are we going to talk about?
It's always that question.
Maybe Meeda can perhaps say something about this. So what can we talk about?
We always have this conversation about Buddha,
Uh-huh.
right? I mean, I feel like Celeste is always so informed. She's so well versed, very knowledgeable. Yeah, and I learn a lot, even though I'm older than Celeste. I still feel I learn a lot from you.
Well, if I may just say something, I think all of us are learners as well. That's why we're put on this earth. I mean, we had this conversation, Meeda and myself, we had this conversation several times. So basically, yeah, we're here because we need to learn from each other. And need is one thing, but do we want to learn from each other? And I feel sometimes we have kind of forgotten that want, that constant want to learn. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so since we can't really think up anything concrete, perhaps shall we talk about chalk paint?
Chalk paint, okay. All right, so basically, in case you're not wondering, our store is in Clooney Court, which is in Bukit Timah. It's situated right next to Botanic Gardens, and we carry any Sloan chalk paint. And chalk paint is all natural. You can use it to paint your furniture. You can use it to paint little like projects, even kids' toys. It can be used on wood. It can be used on metals. Ceramic is a really good thing. So yeah, so if you want to give a piece of your furniture a new lease of life, instead of throwing it out, and even if you don't want it, maybe you could just paint it up a little and give it away to a friend, or you can sell it. Some of our customers come in, they redo the pieces of furniture, and then they sell it off. So we've got some lovely colors. The paint is from the UK. Annie Sloan is the bomb. She's been around for 30 years. So yeah, like I said, it's all natural. It's very versatile. The only thing with chalk paint is that you need to have a finish. I mean, well, you don't need to, but we recommend a finish unless you want to paint something outdoors. Say you have a big, beautiful old pot, for your plants or something, and you just, instead of it looking just brown all the time, you want to give it a little bit of paint and then just let it bake in the sun. You can do that too. Like we've got some really vibrant colors, like blues and our greens. You can find us online to check out our colors, but always, I think it's different coming down to the store where you meet me, you meet Celeste, and it's a little bit more personal, and we can definitely give you advice and tips on what to do.
Well, I feel I need to clarify something at this point because I am really just a Big Blue Trans part-timer now. Yeah, so I mean,
I learned from you. That's a big thing.
Well, I'm helping to paint stuff, so every single thing that you see has been painted.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, this is what I do. Our boss, will actually bring in, or rather, she receives requests from customers, to paint their pieces, and then it comes into the store, and then I will work on them based on the customer's requirements. But anyway,
And then we have fantastic conversations about everything under the sun.
yes,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I realized I came into this. I actually came into this with an intention in mind because we were actually going to talk about something a bit more spiritual, and then Meeda is actually responsible for introducing me to this wonderful German-born singer, Deva Premal. So I'm trying to segue this into the conversation, but apparently I'm doing a terrible job at this. But anyway, so yeah, I suppose Deva Premal, she is kind of as in bringing her up kind of works for today because she's a very very spiritual person.
Yeah.
So I went to her website, and apparently she's actually got she's expanded, her spirituality. Not just bringing song and music to people and spirituality, but also she's actually has classes now. So it's like
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, yes, here's my segue. Funnily enough, here's my segue. Okay, anyway, so Deva, her name, Deva, D-E-V-A, actually means deities in Pali. So Pali is the language, is what the Buddha dispensed his teachings in. So it was Pali. Back then, I believe, if you follow etymology and everything, and we kind of learned that in Buddhist history. Yeah, I took a class in Buddhist history. So basically, back then it was called Magadhi because that's where the Buddha came from. The region where he came from is called Magadha. All right. So back then it was called Magadhi. So right now it's called Pali, but basically it is the same thing. Yeah. So yes, Deva means deities in Pali. Yeah, and I thought, it's a wonderful way to kind of just bring her in, sort of as a to honor, Buddha Gautama, who gave us today in a sense. Yeah. But of course, we Meeda and I we had this conversation. So I was just saying that worship of the Buddha is not going to an idol, and prostrate in front of an idol, but rather Buddha worship is here. Can you see? I'm touching my chest. Yes, it's in your heart, right? Because we often had this conversation, Meeda and myself, the Dhamma is everywhere. The Dhamma is everywhere. Truth is everywhere that you see. So truth does not just exist for just the one day. Be it on Vesak Day or Good Friday or Hari Raya Puasa, yeah. So I think in Singapore especially, we are very, very fortunate because we get to experience. Sorry, I have to move myself to closer to the camera. Yeah, anyway, so here in Singapore, we are really, really fortunate to have the opportunity to understand the cultures of various races. So the public holiday before this was actually Hari Raya Puasa.
Yeah.
So Hari Raya Puasa celebrates the end of Ramadan. So the month of Ramadan is fasting. Yeah. So actually, Meeda is kind of like an adopted Muslim. Perhaps we can hear from her.
That would be very complicated. Well, yeah, I was raised by my mom who was Muslim, and my dad was Jewish, and that's a very unique or uncommon mix. But yeah, like Celeste said, we're in a country whereby there are a lot of diverse cultures, and the one thing I think I want to say about Singapore and I'm not being all patriotic over here, but to the extent we do respect each other's cultures, and it's nice because before this whole COVID thing crashed down on everyone, it was nice to see like when you have Hari Raya, when you have Chinese New Year, and even Deepavali, which is the festival of lights, you would see all these people like different races visiting their friends, going out, and that's one thing that made me like at that point of time. It's for me. I'm so super emotional, and I miss my mom because she's not around anymore. But it was always nice to see like this is what home is like for me. That bit to see all of us like that together, respecting each other's culture, but respecting each other's religion. That was home to me. That was what made me proud to be a Singaporean in that sense. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to get into religion and how. I mean, I respect all religions. It's not like yours is better than mine. Of course, there are some people out there who are like that, but this is not what it's about today. Like Celeste, today's Vesak, and happy Vesak Day for those who are celebrating. I forgot to say that. Um, but yeah, my mom was a Muslim. She was actually very religious. She was actually a Hajjah. She actually went to Hajj not once but twice. You know, um, yeah, she was very fortunate, and I mean, I want to say I've not met anybody who was as religious as her. Although I'm not, I would like to say I'm more spiritual. And it was just really beautiful to see the way that she worshipped. And I can still remember when my little girls were growing up, and my mom would do the praying four times,
5 times.
5 times, not religious, a day. And when my girls were little, they would imitate her. They would stand behind her, and they would do what she was doing when she was praying. And I thought it was. I wish I had videoed it that back then, but it was so absolutely cute. Like sometimes she would even have like kind of tell me, she's losing concentration because her grandchildren are there, and they were like 4 years old, just mimicking grandma. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, until today, they still talk about things like that. And whenever we hear, like, especially when the call for prayers, we pass by a mosque, and you know, it hits a spot, and then makes me think about her, and especially during Hari Raya when I see everybody celebrating. Yeah, so yeah, I kind of miss her, but again, it just goes back to being multicultural, right? Singapore is a cool place to be. I think we do definitely respect each other in when it comes to that. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty. There are going to be people like this and that. No, but when it comes to that point of time, it makes you feel very close as Singaporeans. If that makes sense.
Well, it definitely does, Meeda. It definitely does. Yeah. So basically, I think since we're on the topic of Islam, right? Muslims, right? So basically, they pray 5 times a day, and I just love that. Again, I mean, there is no so-called idol worship. So I mean, for them, they pray 5 times a day. But the thing is, as long as they face east, you know, they can do their prayers, and more often than not, this is like quiet time for them. This is like reflection, so it's like a constant reminder. Hey, you know what have I done today? So I mean, are my actions in tune with the tenets of Islam? So well, maybe I'm butchering the definition, but
I don't think so, Celeste. I don't, because to each one of them, I think, like you said, for reasons, they might be like praising God and all that. But you're right. To each one of them is like, what have I done as being, a Muslim today? What have I done? Have I, been a good one? Or if I wasn't, I did something today that I don't feel was right. You pray and you ask for forgiveness. It's the same thing as going to church, right? You know what I mean? Sometimes when we do something that's really messed up, we go and we pray and we're like, we ask for forgiveness and stuff like that. So I don't think you're butchering it. I think to each person, it's just a different thing, you know.
I really hope so. But anyway, yeah. So I only bring this up because I mean, not only, I mean, the thing is, as long as they face east, they kind of genuflect. Probably should have used the word genuflex, but yeah, they kind of just reflect on like exactly like what Meeda said. Have I been a good Muslim today? Am I true to myself? But at the same time, also I bring this in because there was an incident with one of my teammates So anyway, just very short story. I am a full-time student enrolled in the SG United Skills Program. So one of my teammates for a particular project, so we were just discussing things, right? So it was coming very close to her uh, afternoon, her afternoon prayer session. So it's like so she said, oh, I have to go. So okay, so I was just asking her, so what time would you like to reconvene? And then she said, oh, okay, tell you what, maybe let me have a longer session. I'll do two sessions in one. So I just love that. I mean, in this day and age, we can kind of, if we understand enough, of this, it's like, we do a longer session, and then it's like, oh, help me out here. What am I trying to say? I mean, so the thing is, it doesn't matter if you don't do it 5 times a day. So the thing is, I mean, I think you don't have to do it at so-called set times,
Yes, as
like
long as you do
before
it.
dawn, say mid-morning, lunch, midday, I believe. So there's afternoon and then there's dusk. Yeah, I think these are the 5 times. So the thing is, I mean, yeah, as long as you have God, divinity in your heart,
Yes,
so it's like
absolutely.
you don't really have to do at a so-called set time. I mean, it comes back to the same thing about observing a particular holy day, isn't it? Yeah. So, yes. Yeah. I mean, so it's like, yeah, as long as you have divinity in your heart, wherever you go, whatever time it is holy, and more importantly, you have done right by yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this day and age, it's not like, God is going to get mad at you if prayer time is supposed to be at, let's just say, 3:56, and you could only, do it at 4:15. I mean, again, in this day and age, you're not going to be, I don't know, like punished for not keeping it on time. Like Celeste said, it's in your, the divineness in your heart, right? And just for the people out there who might make you feel bad about it, like, oh, you're not keeping to the times and this and that and all that. I mean, really, I have a lot to say to those people, but this is not the time and place, because today it's all about being pure, being I wouldn't say enlightened, but yeah, maybe this might actually, I don't know, maybe this little chat of ours might open, the minds of some people and make you think. But don't be disheartened just because, you don't feel that, oh, I didn't pray today because, I didn't go to church today because, oh my gosh, my schedule is so busy or something happened, this and that. Your home can be your church. Your bedroom can be your church. I mean, I don't go to a specific building. If I want to speak to God, I do it in the comfort of my room. You can get on your knees, you can lay in bed, you can even talk to God. I'm sorry, but even while you're in your shower, I'm not saying that in the like, it's what's inside of you, and who's going to tell you that's right or wrong? I'm sorry, the person he tells you that, did they write some kind of scripture or holy book or something that they are all knowing? I mean, those were the people who put other people down because they don't pray 5 times a day. At the end of the day, I always tell people, don't feel bad because it's between you and God, right?
Wow, Nida, that is truly, truly beautiful. So I will just bring up two words. So anyway, vocabulary of the day: omnipresent and omniscience. Omnipresent, omni means all, so all present. So God is everywhere,
It's everywhere.
even in the shower.
Yeah.
And omniscience, all knowing. Yeah. So yes, God is everywhere and all knowing. So I mean, God knows if you have been. Okay, I have to do air quotes. Can everybody
Naughty
see
or
this?
nice.
Air quotes. I can't see my other finger. Air quotes bad. God knows you have been bad.
Whether you've been naughty or nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, He doesn't need you to tell Him that you have been bad. But the thing is, God. Sorry, I keep saying He, she, it. Yeah. Okay. Would be very, very happy if you've decided to admit to your mistake, and that you're willing The word here is willing, to actually change, to better yourselves. And I think this is what all of us are on this earth for. Yeah.
And sorry, I have to just chip in a little
Yep.
bit, Celeste, because I don't want this to be like a religious um talk. Like it's all about God, it's all about Muslim or being a Christian or being a Jew or whatever. Even if you don't follow any religion, even if you're just a spiritual person, okay, at the end of the day, whatever you believe, even if you're pagan, it doesn't matter because even if you worship, different goddesses and everything, at the end of the day, it's how you worship. There is no right way or wrong way. I mean, of course, if you're doing it a bad way, then let's not go there. But all I'm saying is at the end of the day, it's between you and the divine. The divine can be anything. It can be a god. It can be a goddess. Can be goddesses. Can be gods. It does not matter. At the end of the day, it's between you and what's in your heart. You know.
Wow, that is truly, truly beautiful. So anyway, I just received the message that we should be working. So yeah, I mean, but the thing is, so the thing is, I mean, even while working, you can still have God in your heart. So it's really about how you conduct your everyday life, every single moment. So again, just like what Meeda said, even if you've slipped for a bit, don't get upset. Because I mean, it might just be a particularly challenging day for you. So there's really no need to judge yourself so harshly. Yeah, as Meeda often says. Yeah. So anyway, this is a very, very good time to just end. Yeah, I'll just leave you with that note. And yes, as promised, I will drop Deva Premal's event for today. She actually has a Vesak observance of sorts. So it's going to be taught by not herself, but it's in the Tonglen. It's in the Tonglen Tibetan tradition. Yeah, so it should be quite interesting. So if you have some time, for Singapore, for those living in Singapore, at Singapore time this evening at 9 p.m. So it will kind of coincide with the end of the eclipse, I believe. All right, so Meeda, say bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for
Thank you so
listening to us.
much. Thank you so much.